back then during the 90s, there were a lot of animes that were starting out, and a lot of them were starting off on Toonami. Like we had Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z, of course, Sailor Moon, Outlaw Star, and there's another anime series that I'm going to be talking about, as you can tell by the thumbnail, Rurouni Kenshin. Hey, friends of YouTube, this is Robbie speaking, and today I'm going to be reviewing Rurouni Kenshin. And I know this is a 90s anime, like this is a current anime that isn't going on right now, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or Sword Art Online or Fairy Tail. But I want to talk about this. I just binge watched this on Netflix and it was really good. Like, I highly recommend this to you, and I'm going to talk about this with you right now. So, spoilers-free review, let's go. Now, I did watch this show as a kid, not a whole lot. I only watched like a few episodes. Like, I remember some episodes, like when he goes to the mansion and protects that one kid, but that's pretty much all the episodes that I remember. I didn't really get into this show that much. I mean, it was cool to watch, but I wasn't like that invested into this show. Like, the only two anime that I was invested in was Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was a bit invested into Yu Yu Hakusho, but then I just stopped watching it for some reason. I don't know, that's just how the little kid in me was back then, but now that I'm an adult, I appreciate animes like this more, so yeah. So the story is basically a wandering samurai who, after killing so many people in a revolution, decides that he wants to live a peaceful life, so he wanders Japan for like 10 years until he reaches Tokyo, where he makes new friends, lives in the dojo, but there are other, villains who are trying to go after him and stuff. Some villains who want to challenge him because of his reputation, and so that gets in the way of him living his life. Now, for a shonen anime / manga series, this is a different type of story. It's more unique. Like, I mean, yeah, maybe we've gotten some stories with samurais before, like in some old Japanese movies or something like that, but for this is kind of unique. Like, usually we get stories like with Goku, like, oh, the stupid idiot who's tries to save the world and stuff, but no, this is a different type of stories. Like I said before, this is more about like trying to handle your emotions. So for our title and main character of the series is Kenshin Himura, who was once known as Baitosai the Manslayer for killing so many people in Revolution. He decided not to kill people for like the rest of his life, to never kill again, and so he wanders Japan for 10 years and goes to Tokyo. I know I'm kind of repeating the summary here of what I just said, but that's just, he is a very serious character, but he's also a very, funny character. Like, there have been times that he's made me laugh so much. He's just a very chill dude, and I just love that about him, because usually you don't really get characters like that in a shonen anime manga series, but when he is serious, he is serious. Like, his struggle is like, even though he swore not to kill again, there have been times when he's so serious that you're worried that he's going to kill someone again. Like, you're just worried for him just as much as his friends are. Then we have Yahiko, who was once the son of a samurai, but his father died, so now he's following his father's footsteps by becoming a student in the dojo training, which is also where Kenshin lives. So yeah, Kenshin kind of got into the dojo, and so he's just trying to become like Kenshin, even though he's nowhere close to that. He's still trying. He also has this epic moment later in the second season, though that's way later. So in order to be patient with this character, you just gotta enjoy the fun moments that you have with him, because in season 1 he doesn't really have too many epic moments. I mean, there was another episode though, I think, where he has an epic moment. I think it was some gang, I'm trying to remember, but other than that, just be patient with the character. I enjoy him though. So, and then we have who Kenshin calls Miss Kaoru. Now, Miss Kaoru is basically a teacher at dojo, even though Yahiko is her only student. She is a teacher, and she is also a nag, like she'll nag at Kenshin, which is one of her funny quirks. But the thing about her is that even though she yells at Kenshin a lot, she has feelings for him. Like, we all know it. If you watch this show, we know that she has feelings for him. Like, even though that we never see them kiss, we see that, because she's one of the things that keeps Kenshin in Tokyo. Like, she's the thing that Kenshin can't get away from. Like, she's one of the things that keeps, Kenshin safe from becoming who he once was, Baitosai the Manslayer. Even though Kenshin saves her a few times, there are times when she saves him from himself. And that's one of the things that I like about their relationship. Then we have Sonosuke, who is probably the second strongest character of the 4 main characters. Even though he's nowhere close to Kenshin's level, he is still pretty strong, and he gets stronger later, because he goes through some training, like in the second season, just to get ready for his big battle, which I don't want to spoil, but Sonosuke, he has a tough attitude. He was a man for hire. He once tried to go after Kenshin, but Kenshin, saw the good in him. It's really interesting to see, because at first Sonosuke couldn't stand Kenshin, But then, they're like really good friends now, like best friends. And then you got some supporting characters like Miss Megumi and Musu. I think her name is Musu, like Maisou. Like, I think that's how you spell it. I wish I remember her name pretty good. I wish I knew how to pronounce it because she was a really cool character and I really liked her. She was this ninja-like character who was around for the second season. Like, she had a really big role to play and she wasn't that, she wasn't weak at all, to be honest with you. She wasn't weak at all. Like, she would have been great for, like, the main cast. Like, I'm, like, watching this girl, I'm like, why can't she be with the main characters? Like, why can't she join them? Then again, she's loyal to her family, the Wanban group, and you'll learn more about that later when you watch Rurouni Kenshin, especially the second season. You'll know that. And yeah, there were some other supporting characters that weren't really memorable, like the doctor and her two granddaughters. Not that I have anything against them, but they just weren't really that memorable as supporting characters. Just these two, to be honest with you. And I can't believe I forgot about this character, Sato. Now, Sato, he and Kenshin once shared a history together. They were once on opposite sides of the revolution, and so they were arch enemies during that time, like they clashed swords before. And after 10 years, they meet again, and they clash swords again, but turns out Sato is actually on Kenshin's side, and they join forces to take down a bigger villain, who I'll talk about in a moment. But basically, Sato, even though he's on their side, even though he's kind of an anti-hero, he can be kind of a dick. Like, he's just, all he cares about getting the mission done. He does not care about his allies or anything like that. I mean, he only keeps Kenshin alive because it's his job. Like, his job is telling him, don't kill Kenshin, because he's pretty much muscle, really strong. Like, he's a really strong dude, like, on the same level as Kenshin. Like, so yeah, if this gives you another character to look forward to if you're thinking about watching the show. Then we got our main villain of the second season, Shishi. Now, Shishi, I'm not going to spoil too much with his backstory and everything, but he is a very strong guy, like a very strong villain. He is very power hungry, like he wants to take over Japan, make it strong again, like make it strong or something, I don't know. But yeah, Shishi is probably not like only the best villain in Rurouni Kenshin. He's probably like the best villain in all of anime, like one of the best main villains. Like, he's probably on the list of top 10 anime villains, so just really look forward to him as well, like, because I was really looking forward to this character as well, and I loved him even more than I thought I would. Let's talk about the animation. Now, the animation, this is how I kind of picture Japan to be like back in the 1800s or earlier. Like, this is how I picture it to be. Like, when it looks peaceful, like you have like all these like cherry blossoms blooming and all that. But then when it's dark, like when it's like nighttime and there's a fight scene going on, you can see all the shading and everything. Like, like whenever the shading comes, this is a really serious moment for like our characters, that they're about to get into this really serious fight. Like, it works pretty well. Like, it works pretty well in how they do that. And the fights are just amazing. Like, they are bloody. Like when someone gets stabbed, they start bleeding. Like, it's really awesome how they do that. Like, I know One Piece does have some really awesome sword fights with Zoro, but this one does it in a more, I wouldn't say a realistic way, but in a more like when someone gets stabbed or cut or anything, they take more damage in it than in One Piece does. Just saying. I still love One Piece, don't get me wrong, but if you're gonna do a sword fight, this is how you do it. And you got the theme song to this. Now, the theme song, like, at first I didn't really like it too much, because first it was like hard metal, like then it was just more like a high-pitched, like, peaceful song. Like, I can't really do it pretty well. I'm not gonna impersonate that singer, but at first I didn't like that opening at all. But then after I got used to it, I was just like, this kind of actually makes sense, because the hard metal kind of represents like what Kenshin's about to go up against with the villains, like the foreshadowing. And then when you get to the peaceful stuff, like, it makes more sense, because it gives you a feel on what the show is about more. Like, that he, even though he's dealing with these villains, he's still trying to live a peaceful life. Like, that's what I get, that's the theme that I get out of this theme song. Like, you can't call it a theme song without a theme. And I think that's all I have to say about this show. I did watch this show in English dub, and the English dub is good. It's not the best I've heard, but I enjoyed the English dub, though. That's how I pretty much watched it on Toonami. If you're just like me, who watched it in I think it came out in the early 2000s, because I think this came out when I was like 6 or 7. So yeah, I remember the English dub, and when I watched this again, I was like, I remember how these characters sound. I'm gonna give this show a 9 out of 10, despite the filler. I mean, I kind of skipped on some filler. I mean, I did watch a bit of it, but That's just how it was. I mean, if you want to watch the filler, that's fine, but if you just want to skip the filler and just go on to the main story, that's up to you. Like, personally, that's what I did, kinda. And the main story, though, really good. Like, really good, though. Very well written. You definitely need to check this out if you haven't. It's really good. It might even be on my list of top 10 anime. And it was just that great. It was that amazing. And I have yet to read the manga because I heard, like, we got a lot from the manga. We still didn't get the final story arc, and I want to read that. I want to read that final story arc. So, yes, I will get into some other animes as well, like current animes, like I said before, with Sword Art Online, Fairy Tail, and what else? That sumo anime, I think, that just came out. I want to check that out too. Like I said, you gotta watch this anime. You gotta watch this anime. There's some other 90s anime that I have to watch, because there's just so much. And yeah, I'm Rob A, and may the force be with you.